Hi guys, Ray here from City Fan TV. Sat out on my balcony. My kids are having a sesh playing games. It's a bit noisy inside. I don't really fancy doing this too often this season. It's already a bit chilly out here. Unless I put a heater out on the balcony. That's the next step, I think. Keep us warm. I tell you what, weather's changed in 2 weeks in France from being, in the 2 or 3 weeks ago, it was in the mid-30s. And now it's way down. Hey, Faris, how you doing, buddy? Just looking at some stats. In the last week, Faris has been our biggest chatter. You've been our biggest chatter, Faris, with 192 comments. 192 comments. It's not a game. It's not a race. There's no prize. But I just thought I'd throw that out there, Faris. Edward, I tell you what, mate, it is a bit chilly. Got the coat on. It's the wind. It's the wind that's the killer. It's the wind. I'm all right, Abdullah. To be honest, I've been ill all day. Really, really ill. For me, anyway. It didn't stop me going out this morning to do a lot of stuff for the family. Before it's all cancelled. It's all getting cancelled. A lot of group activities have been cancelled in France. I might as well give you the chit chat because it is. It's a stream for a mix of football and chat and life. So yeah, I think I had a sugar problem, massive headache. It's like having a migraine, bumper migraine, and I could just feel it getting worse and worse. I was hoping to go out running this morning. I just couldn't get up, and it was just getting worse and worse. Got my kid out to his theatre class. Took my missus a bit of shopping whilst he was there. And then had to go and buy some meat and go to the butchers and all that sort of stuff in France. And then I just came home, went to bed. That's it, all afternoon. Missed the United game, quite pleased. Missed the next game. I managed to get up in time. I didn't get up to watch the football, but I watched the West Brom game against Chelsea, most of that. But I've been really, really, I've still got a headache now. So I need to have a bit of a rest, but that's me. So yes, I'm cold for many reasons, probably through illness and through this. It's a bit windy, that's the thing. Anyway, Robert Robinson, Blue Chand. Blue Chand is our third biggest chatter in the last week, with I think 54 comments. Blue Chand. As I said, it's not a competition. GSG was in the top 10. Abdallah, how you doing, buddy? Beyond 100 Criminal, how are you? Faris has been reading up about Ruben Dias, his style of plays football. If you want to see it, hi Harry. Well, the thing is, actually, unfortunately, because I was ill today, I wasn't able to edit the video I shot yesterday with a guy called Scott who works for Total Analysis. And the thing is, Scott, apparently, his lineage is Portuguese. And he watches La Liga. So he said to me yesterday, after we'd done the video, he said, if you need something on Ruben Dias, my background is Portuguese and I watch the Portuguese league as well as La Liga. So I might have a chat with him early next week, maybe schedule something for Monday and do something about Ruben Dias and have a chat with him because obviously he knows about him. I think, didn't Ruben Dias score tonight, Gobby? We'll talk about that. Well, I mean, it's going to be one of the biggest things is transfers. That's what people want to know. Hi, Harry. Hope you're well, buddy. Gobby, are you going to sign that this is getting 9 days left in the winter? Yeah, it's not great. We need to buy a striker, says Abdallah. I'd like us to buy a striker, but you got people who are saying we never give the kids a chance. Well, this is Rory Delap's chance. How does that look, guys? Looks daft. I don't like these. The hoods look great, but not on your head. Edward, looks like DS is happening. Squad tonight and captains. Looks like it's his last game. I believe that DS is the closest to us joining Faris. I think so too. Ruben discipline tonight. Well, I will into that. So Mario Bertelli, chicken hat, Blue Chand. I should have got a hat, but you'd only see me. My glasses. If I put this up fully, actually it does stick a bit, which is a bit of a bummer because this is a brand new jacket. And if you go and see how much they cost, they're not cheap, these jackets. They're not really very thin. So when you look, there's no fleece or anything. So it's a bit of a bum when you get a zip. I'd like the zip to go up. I might take it back. Say, look, the zip don't work. Well, messing about with that zip. But yeah, these jackets, they ain't cheap. Ruben Diaz, beyond again, we were happy with Ruben Diaz. Abdallah, Delphi's young and experienced, we can't depend. I understand that, Abdallah. I understand totally. And part of me agrees, but part of me also thinks if we don't give him a chance now, he'll never get a chance. Yes, we could still look for another strike. I agree. Get someone in on a year's loan or something like that. But getting a good striker, top striker, is going to be expensive. You go for Griezmann if you want to go down that route, or Dembele from Barcelona if you want to go down that route. It's going to cost you an arm and a leg. It's absolute. They'll say pay their wages. Now you might think we're only getting them on loan. The wages for someone like Griezmann would probably cost you at least 25 million quid. So that's a lot of money. And then you play a loan quid on top. So it's very expensive. And I just say, if you can spend 30, 35, even 40 million on an expensive loan, get someone like Cavani for a year, or get someone else who's promising. If you can spend 30, 40 million quid, why don't you just get a kid that looks promising, or give Delap a go? And it is Delap's chance. This is his chance, Cobby. You're right. It is Delap's opportunity. Now, I think Pep would be happy to play with a false nine, but we haven't got the personnel. I was trying to work it out. Have we got the personnel for a false nine? You need, in my opinion, people with a lot of energy who are going to work hard. You need people like Foden, Sterling, Gabriel Jesus, Bernardo Silva. Those are if I'm looking at all the City players, I'm not going to include Ferran Torres because he's too young and inexperienced for City. Okay. Got a lot of games under his belt, but he's not at City. He's not played with us before. Now, I look at those four players and say, those are my men. Those are my go-to men for a false nine right now. Okay? Bernardo Silva, injured. Gabriel Jesus, injured. It's difficult to go for a false nine unless you put someone like Ferran Torres in. Would you rely on Mahrez to be in a false nine? I don't really like that. I don't like that at all. I don't like the idea of asking Mahrez to work hard and be selfless. Think of the team. Mahrez don't come across as that kind of guy. He feels he's got that arrogance, that, hey, I'm better than you kind of stuff, which, he's not good enough to have that arrogance, in my opinion. So, Robert says give Delap a chance. And that's what I'd do. I'd put Foden on the right, Sterling on the left, Delap up the middle. Give it a go. If Bernardo gets back to fitness, false nine, you can do that. You can mix. Then you've got options. You can mix it around. But I just can't see how we can do that. Hi, Dre. Hope you're well, buddy. Abdallah, Joao Felix or Musa Dembele from Lyon, or Lautaro Martinez. For me, Joao Felix, I don't think Atletico are going to let him go. Not yet. And we could ask, but I don't think they will. And if they do, it's going to cost us an arm and a leg in a loan fee and wages as well. Musa Dembele is an option, but would Leon let him go on loan? I don't think we're going to buy him. I think he's not for us to buy. Lautaro Martinez was my guy for the summer. You saw it in the preview I did for all the squad list for next season, and I had Lautaro Martinez in there. He was my man for up front, but we didn't get him. And I'm sad, not sad, but disappointed we didn't even at least try and start that merry-go-round. Put the bid in 50 million quid and see if you flush anybody else out and see if Inter go for it. You never know. You put the bids out, you never know. Faris, I know a couple of people on social media who are who own for the football knowledge, and they say Ruben Diaz is perfect for us. Well, I think Ruben Diaz is good. I don't know enough about him. I think he's been a name that's been knocked around for a while. Koundé or Diaz, I think one of them might happen. Robert, but the thing is, Robert, you got to remember we're playing Leicester. Now, Leicester, they're going to rely on people like Jamie Vardy, Tielemans, Harvey, Barnes, whatever. And for me, I can see Pep going back to the old, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Against Wolves, we were looking at pace with Traore and others. And he went with Fernandinho and Rodri. So I can see us going with Fernandinho and Rodri again. Why not? Why not give it a go again and have Stones and Laporte at the back? Sorry, not Laporte, Stones and Ake. And then, that if you're going to have KDB as your attacking midfield, then I wouldn't put Foden in midfield then, because then you've got too many. Got to go up front for me. Well, Abdallah, there's something going on with the medical staff. Whether it's our training intensity, whether it's the medical staff, I just don't know. Cobby wants Koundé. Yeah, I agree, Cobby. I agree. But the problem is, if you see what we were offering about 55 million for Koulibaly and 50 million for Koundé and 50 million for Ruben Diaz. Now, that to me indicates there's a ceiling that we're going to spend. There's a ceiling that we're not going to go to, 70 million. I just can't see it. If we're not going to push Koulibaly deal any further, maybe we just put the bids out and see who accepts. And right now, everybody's pushing for a bit more money, or in some cases, a lot more money. But I just think we've got to cut our cloth accordingly. Dre, I think it's unlucky with COVID. I think we must have a third striker now. Maybe should have kept Iheanacho and loan around. It's not useful to us to do that. I mean, we got very good money for Iheanacho. Selling Iheanacho for 25 million give us a profit in the accounts that season. Iheanacho helped us to meet financial fair play. I'm not sure about Skriniar, Dre. 89 euros. Blue Chand, 74 euros, I think, if I remember correctly. You're checking up on my clothes now. How much they cost? I'll tell you how much it cost. Tell you what, it wasn't one to wear in the winter. It certainly wasn't. I'll go up and check on Boutique Stade Francais, because that's who it is. Oh, it's a bit slow on my computer. I'm sure it's 74 euros or something like that. Hi, Sable, how you doing now? We brought boys in for next year. Could be. Hi, Zachary, hope you're well. Yeah, yes, to score for Benfica. It could be Sable. Look, maybe, and I joke about it, but it could be true. Maybe Messi's coming next summer. Maybe we're also going for Kylian Mbappe, because if he's available, we'll put in the money. And to do that, we have to be careful this season, because we can't just blow it out the water next season. Let's look at the Sweat Invest. I hate this. They've done something to their channel now, and it's just a pain in the backside looking on. It was easy before. No, it's just a pain. Let's find that. I'll tell you how much that jacket is. 74 euros and 17 centimes. That's what's coming up on my thing now. You can get one in black, which is 74 euros and 17 centimes, or you can get the gilet without the sleeves, and that's 57.50. Not the best, but it's all right. It's a fashion item, which everybody who sees me wearing it, they know it's me. So there's no confusion. They see my bald head, they see my sunglasses, they see this, they know it's me. I'm not a celebrity, Faris. I'm far from it, mate. Namara should start centre forward. I don't think so, Abdallah. I don't think he's good enough. I don't think he's given us enough. You want a centre forward who's going to work hard. How you wouldn't get it? Would you start Delap? Yep, absolutely. You wouldn't get it, because I said otherwise. Who's going to play up front? Are we going to put Sterling up front? Are we going to play with a false nine? Are you going to play a false nine? That's the issue. With the false nine, the players that play the false nine, I'll reiterate, I think Bernardo Silva, Sterling, Foden, and Gabriel Jesus. And two of them are injured. So I will go for Delap for this game. Why not? The guy's buzzing. He said he's buzzing. He's buzzing because he scored a goal. He's played a good game, scored a goal, first game. Whilst he's buzzing, he's got this youthful energy. He's got exuberance, he's got that eagerness, he's got everything. His stars, or the planets are aligned for Liam Delap right now. Give him that next game. Let's see what he can do. If it doesn't work, then mix it around, mix it up a bit. If it don't work out, and then you utilize your person. The guy's full of confidence. Give him a go. As you're saying, Jack, it's his chance. Should Delap start? Pretty absolutely for me. 100% Delap starts for me. Unless he's an injury, he starts. Aguero to be back October the 17th. I'm not sure whether that's starting with the team. What does that mean, October the 17th? Is he back in training with the big boys on October the 17th? I don't know. Or is he ready to start a game of football for the first team? I don't know. Get Delap there, says beyond argument, strong quality. Absolutely. No more messing about. Get him in. Let's see what he can do. Ruben Dias is perfect for us, better than Koundé and Koulibaly, experienced and young. Well, Koundé is experienced and young, Abdallah. Koundé's played 110 games for Bordeaux and for Sevilla. Koundé has won the Europa League. He's looked pretty decent against people like... He's played against Martial against United. Martial's got a bit of pace. Didn't do much against Koundé. He played against Lautaro Martinez. Had him in his pocket, apparently, in the Europa League final. And there's another big game he played against. I can't remember, in the Europa League qualifying games. And then, obviously, the Bayern Munich game. So he's got the experience. He's played at a decent level. Knocking on the door of the French national team, which is extremely hard to get into. I don't see anything wrong with Koundé. You wouldn't get it. Guardiola's put Sterling in that striking role before. I don't want that. Give him that chance. If he's rubbish, bring him out, change it around for the next game. But for me, Delap should play against Leicester, and he should play against Burnley in the next round of the Carabao Cup. Why not? Chuck him in, let him play. I'd be disappointed if Sterling plays up top. I really would against Leicester. Robert, how you doing, mate? I'm sick of all this talk about false strikers. It's a very important position. Robert, what I want us to have is we've seen sometimes when we play with a false nine, we've been devastating. That first half against United in the Carabao Cup semi-final first leg last season, we were devastating. We ripped them to pieces. So why can't we do that again? Stick to that. There's no harm in doing that, but don't do it as your only option. You've got to have the option to play a proper striker. The vice press going off looks like it's fine. So, yeah, Lucian, it's not good. We don't know what's going on, in his personal life. He's obviously, his mother died 6 months ago. Lots of things. His family are not there. And also, here's the thing. I don't think Pep can go and come back because of quarantine. He's not an elite sportsman. So I don't think, maybe he can because he's the manager. But if you can't go and come back without quarantine, it's a bummer. That's why we're living in France right now. We can't come back to the UK because of the quarantine. We've got to stick around for 14 days. It's costing me an arm and a leg to be in France. Not just the cost of being here, but all the stuff that I left in England that I want right now. My lads are playing badminton. Well, I'd like their badminton rackets on, and mine. I want to start playing badminton again. I'd like to have my extremely nice Yonex badminton racket. I've got a few really nice rackets. I'd like to have them back. Can't. I've got tons of proper feather shuttlecocks, which are expensive. I can't bring them. But my badminton shoes, you don't play any old trainers. There's hundreds of pounds I'm going to have to spend to buy new stuff, and it's across all the board. I had to buy my lad a new djembe, so an African drum. I had to buy him a new one because mine is in the UK. We both do play the djembe. Him a lot better than me. I'm restarting after a few years out, but we had to buy a new one. It's you have to buy new instruments because we haven't been able to go back to bring them over, and things like tennis shoes. My kids play tennis. They've been told they need proper tennis shoes. So it's a real bind as well, and I'm having to watch. I'll be honest. I'm having to watch the football because obviously over here in France, the Premier League football and stuff, they've got French commentators. So you have to watch it with the French commentary, which is interesting to say the least. So it's, okay. And like the last game, when Foden scored, they said it was Delap because the camera went on Delap. So they said it was Delap scored. I think the same in England, but these guys said, I thought at the time Foden shrunk a bit because Foden's tiny. Delap shrunk because it didn't look like Delap scoring that second goal. Anyway, let's see what you guys are saying. Is Aguero trying to get fit, or is he still trying to recover from that injury? Faris, I don't know. He's training. He showed that on the Instagram last week where he is training, but he was on his own. And I don't think the pictures he showed were of someone who's busting a gut, doing all the twists and turns yet. He's taking it easy. So Pep said it'll be a month or two. I reckon it'll be a month before he's ready, where he's training properly with the lads and ready to integrate and play a game, and maybe 2 months before he's fully fit. I read that Pep prefers Koundé the most. Well, I like Koundé. Koundé played against Raul Jimenez as well. That's the one, and held him in check. So Koundé's got a lot of good points. There's arguments about how tall he is. Wikipedia says 6 foot. Scott said he might only be 5'10", 5'11", but that's what Garcia's 5'11". So all the people who said he's not tall enough, and who have in the past been saying Garcia's the best thing since sliced bread, Koundé's a similar height, and he does jump quite well. Sebo, I feel we should forget about Messi and rather focus on Haaland and Mbappe. Hey, Sebo, look, I'm going to throw this out there. We might say, right, Haaland's available. We're going to forget the fact we've got problems with Mino Raiola. We'll go for Haaland. We'll go for Mbappe. We'll go for Messi. Would you take that? Haaland, Messi, and Mbappe, and see who we get. Which match do you think Gabby will play next? Queen versus King? No idea, mate. Honestly, we don't know when he's going to be fit. Dre says Lap is perfect for Burnley. Should be physical game. Warrington headers to absolutely, mate. Faris, I missed that. As a striker, but Ferran Torres just has the physicality to play there. He's not ready. He's not ready to perform. Because you've seen, he's not looked it yet. Imagine Haaland if we go from Delap next season for Pretty. It'll be crazy. It'll be crazy. And we could then go back to playing with 2 up top. Like we used to do in the old days. We could play with 2 up top. Beyond the game, I would back Delap. He looks like he has the qualities to do the business and would be a cheaper option to loaning. Absolutely, give him the goal. At some point, you've got to. Jesus sat for 3 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks. It said you wouldn't get it. So probably after the international break. They rang the Brazilian coaching team, I think, on Wednesday after the game. Thursday night after the game, and he was pulled out from the squad immediately. Blue Channel used to work at Pravitz Jet Centre 9 months ago. Pep's wife and kids now used to fly in and out. Pep always gets emotional. Yeah, look, it's tough, Blue Channel. It's really tough, with your family. And that's why we're living in France. Because briefly, my missus had to do some work in France for the rest of the year, and she couldn't stand, we couldn't do the quarantine. Simple as that, because the initial idea was she'd come back every weekend, spend 2 or 3 days with the kids. It's 4 days France, 3 days England. That's what we're used to. But as soon as that quarantine hit, bang, ideas gone. Plans thrown in the air. And if you didn't realize, we moved very quickly to France because she couldn't do 14 days. Well, you can't. If you're working here, you can't go there. You're working in France, you can't go to the UK because you have to quarantine for 2 weeks. And we couldn't bring the kids back to France because they got school. And even if you come for a weekend, then you go back to England and then you go to quarantine for 14 days, so they can't go to school. So it's a total mess. So that's why we're here. And Blue Chand, it's, family, extremely important. Family and good friends. Donald Quinn, we have no idea. Dre, I think, unlike Mbappe, Messi might actually have a City as his side. Makes it easy. Yeah. Well, if you saw that, was that the post that Messi put out on Instagram about Suarez leaving. Messi's still fuming, absolutely livid. He's really, really angry. For me, I don't. Part of me doesn't mind Messi at 34 because part of it's emotional. See the best player ever, still playing at a good level, and part of it is he'll help take our team forward. There's no question about that, mentality-wise, and people will obviously look up to him. Opposition players will defer to him, give him too much respect. That's got to help us. So I think all that, overall, I think I'm in favour of Messi, even if it's next to my. I said I don't want it because it is getting too late. But what I don't want is to get Messi and not get a new striker. If we need it, we'll need one for whenever Guerrero goes. That would annoy me. That would frustrate me. You wouldn't get it. Bring Haaland home. City's next manager might play with 2 up from Haaland. The partnership would be awesome. You wouldn't get it. Awesome. Hopefully we get Jesus and Aguero back beginning of November when we have Liverpool and Tottenham back-to-back. Mr. All-Up. Yeah, I think Aguero will be ready to play within a month, around the end of October. So, and Jesus might come back a little bit above that. Do you think we'll get Koundé? I don't know, Zidane. The situation is, guys, what I think City have done is put the bids out there and to see who bites. They put the bid out for Koundé. Sevilla don't want to sell a guy they've only had for one season. And if they do, they want to get as much money. They don't want 50, 55 million euros. They paid 25 million for him. They want us to pay through the nose because they're going to have to go out and get somebody else at a late stage in the transfer window. So they don't want to do that. Same with Ruben Diaz. Okay. His club want as much money as possible. Now, the only way you get around that is if you buy somebody who's got a release clause in their contract. An actual release clause, you go and pay it. Jimenez got a release clause, 110 million. We ain't going there. It's too much. We are going at half that level. You wouldn't get it. I'd take Haaland or Mbappe over Messi. Yeah, I agree with that, but I want two. I would take Haaland and Messi. Why don't we go for them all? I don't think we can afford them all, to be honest. I mean, Mbappe and Haaland will cost us 300 million. Even if we get Messi on a free, that's 300 million, which I think we can afford. I think the problem we've got is this COVID has cost us 100 million over the end of last season and this season. So COVID has cost us a lot of money. As well. And we have to pay the wages. So it's going to be expensive. But love it, all three of them. Then Sterling's going to be struggling for a place. So what? I say everybody has to up the game. Dre, I think Messi's situation is now borderline unethical, keeping against his. Yeah, but he's got a contract. And the thing is, Dre, it's his choice now. He could have gone to court. He could have fought them in court. He chose not to. So that's where my sympathy ends. Messi will want, as his best mate is gone and Aguero is his best mate. City absolutely branded him. Look, it's great to play with your mates, to live nearby, to go. He was interlinked with Suarez. The families would regularly meet and eat and go on holidays or whatever they were doing. They're always together. So to have that opportunity for a season or two with Aguero, maybe he'll go for that as well. Faris Man United joke? Nah, not bothered, Faris. I didn't watch it because I was, if you weren't here earlier, I was particularly ill today, feeling a lot better. But around lunchtime, I was well out of it. Watching my kid see what he's doing. Sure, he's eating something. He's always eating. Look, it's 9:30. He's having something to eat. You can see him. Growing up, he's only 13, so I can understand why he's always nabbing food. Koundé and Diaz both have release clauses. It's just that their teams are willing to have less. Yeah, that's it. Edwin, we're not willing to go to those release clauses. I think if that's the issue. I think in Sevilla, yeah, he must have a release clause. Koundé, I think got to have, all Spanish teams got to have that. But we're not willing to go to what Sevilla want. We want to negotiate under that. Yeah, Faris, I heard they were. I heard that Brighton hit the woodwork 4 or 5 times. What's that, Liban? Cheeky needs to hang his head. Why, Liban? Your words are tantamount to getting banned from this site. If you're following me on Twitter, I'd have blocked you. Okay, I'd have blocked you because Liban. It's frustrating when people come on who don't know what's going on. So you tell me what's going on at City. You tell me. You explain to me, and I've told you guys many times. I've told you so many times. City have lost £100 million at the end of last season and potentially this season if there's no fans at games. We've lost it from the rebate to the Premier League. We've lost it from the money we're losing from the Chinese TV contract that's disappeared. We're losing it from fans not going to games. We're losing a heck of a lot of money. £100 million. So are you going to lend us the money, Liban? See, no one ever talks about the good deals that City have done. No one ever talks about selling Enes Ünal for 12 million euros, who I bet you most of you guys have never heard of Enes Ünal. City sold him for 12 million euros, 10 million euro profit. No one talks about that. No one talks about Angus Gunn selling him for about 15 million quid and getting that as a profit. And all these deals make our books balance. No one talks about Brahim Diaz. We got 15 million quid for a kid who's got 6 months left on his contract. Even the Jadon Sancho, we got 10 million quid for a kid who didn't want to be around, wasn't turning up, and could have gone for free the following summer. People don't talk about that. Rabbi Matondo up to 8 million quid. Aaron Moy, we made a profit on Aaron Moy of about 8-10 million quid. Something like that. It's ridiculous. We got more money for selling Aaron Moy than we paid to buy the club and all the players that Aaron Moy was with at Melbourne City in Australia. No one talks about that. Bertrand Selina, 4 million quid. No one talks about that. All the other deals we do, people don't talk about them. Why? Because they show us in a good light. They show us making good deals. They just want to focus on the poor deals. And that's no good. Look at the overall picture. The overall picture tells me there are issues at the club financially. 100 million quid short. And Sheikh Mansour hasn't put money in to buy a place for several years now. So we cut our cloth accordingly. It was said we want to be self-sustaining. We are. Diaz's stats, 94 minutes, 1 goal, 78 touches, 6 accurate passes, 92% pass accuracy, 2 errors, 1, 2 ground. Yeah, it's all good stuff. You wouldn't get it, says. Let's go. City cannot let Mbappe or Haaland join other people. Yeah, their team changes, I agree. Thoughts on Menace's Prithvi? Do you think he should start? I've said many times his crossing has been woeful at times. Last season it was terrible. This season is, it's 50-50 whether you get a good one or not. Edwin Sancho can be a game changer. We didn't change the game for Dortmund today where they lost to Augsburg, did they? They lost 2-0 to Augsburg, and you had people like Sancho playing. You had people like Reina playing. All the the big names, Bellingham, all the people that played last week, and everyone said, "Wow, look at all these kids! Look how they're doing." And they played today, and they got beat 2-0. Court might take months. Absolutely, Dre. We didn't push. Dre, what he could have done, he just left, played for City, and let the court sort itself out in the background. He could have done that, but he said he don't want to take the love of his life to court, so he's suffering for the love of the team he loves. He's been there 20 years, so I understand that. And Mbappe to Liverpool is ridiculous. He will end up at Real Madrid, probably Mr. Roll-Up. Depends if Real Madrid have a bad season and Zidane goes, maybe he won't. Sancho's lost goals, Pep stays at City. I'm not bothered about Sancho. Tell me one significant signing we have made so far. How are we? Liban, you're so. How can I put it politely? I can't, so I won't. We might have had, who said we had a 300 million war chest? You put a link up for me, Liban, to say we had 300 million to spend. You put a link up. I'd love to see that where Khaldoon said that. I would love to see where Khaldoon said we're going to make reinforcements around 300 million. Love it. I would absolutely love to see that. I roll this back to something I said last week. If we'd got, and we thought we were getting Koulibaly and Messi, who would have complained about this transfer window? I would have said, I easily say it's the best transfer window in our history that I can remember. If we'd got Messi, Koulibaly, Ferran Torres, and Nathan Ake, no question for me that would have been a wonderful transfer window. And the Messi thing, we thought we had him. We thought it was all done and dusted. Okay, and that's the club. From the people I know dealing with the club, they thought it was all done and dusted. They were already getting ready. Okay, for his announcement. So no, and because they've not happened, okay, people are looking at where we've fallen down, but it's not over yet. I'm disappointed and frustrated. Absolutely, I'm disappointed and frustrated. But look at all the signings that Cheeky has been involved with. Raheem Sterling. Anybody want to complain about spending 45 to 49 million pounds on Raheem Sterling? KDB. Anybody want to complain about spending 54, 55 million on KDB? Can't hear you. Even Leroy Sané. Who's complaining that we got Leroy Sané under Cheeky's watch? Okay, he left. That's Leroy Sané's choice. Who's complaining about those three signings? Aymeric Laporte. People want to say he's one of the best centre-backs in the world. Who's complaining about Aymeric Laporte coming to City? Walker. Overall, Walker's been very good for us. Who wants to complain about Walker? Mendy, first season was brilliant until he got injured. Who wants to complain about that? Edison. Who wants to complain about Edison coming to City at 30-odd million quid? What about Bernardo Silva, 43 million quid? Was that a good buy? I think so. I really do think Edison was Bernardo Silva at 42, 43 million quid. It was a very good buy. So guys, lots of good buys in there at good prices too. There's no problem with Cheeky. Look at other clubs. They haven't. Look, Who spent big money apart from Chelsea this summer? You wouldn't get it. Chica's completely transformed City's wage bill. He's cleaned up City's waste masterfully. I agree with that. Sometimes you have to do it. Look, Yaya was on whatever 200 grand a week. We were selling players or letting them go who were on big money and getting players in on good money. Sane came in on 60 grand a week. So we were letting people, and it makes a huge difference. You're letting people go who, if you're on 200 grand a week on a 5-year contract, that's 55 million quid nearly, off over 50 million quid it's costing you over 5 years. You got somebody in 100 grand a week, that's 25 million saved. Makes a huge difference overall. Unless you're Chelsea, you had money. Chelsea got money to burn, and they do it a different way. You do it a different way because Roman Abramovich puts the money in. There you go, Liban. There you go, Liban. You got it. You asked for it. You got it. I don't mind difference of opinions, okay? And I'll say this to everybody. I say this. I don't mind difference of opinions. I welcome them. But what I won't have is people being stupid. I won't have people being stupid. And if Liban wants to continue down this stupid route of criticizing without... See, all he's got is a gut feeling. He's not got for me, it's not an opinion to say, oh, Cheeky's an idiot. He's not done this. He's not done that. An objective reason. Don't just come out with rubbish. I don't mind differences of opinion. What I won't have is idiots or people behaving like idiots and saying stuff without backing it up. I've just gone through a list of players that we sold for big money that balanced our books, that helped us meet financial fair play. And Liban said nought about Cheeky then. I've just gone through a list of wonderfully talented players that we've got, in retrospect, on the cheap. KDB, 55 million. How much is he worth? 150? 200? Sterling, how much is he worth? 100? More than 100. Bernardo Silva. Okay, he had a dip in form last season. How much is he worth? 80, 100? When we got Leroy Sané, I mean, okay, we didn't get as much money because he was in the last year of his contract, but he was worth 80 to 100 million quid. All day long, 100 million quid, in my opinion. We got him for 37. Laporte, how much is he worth now? 100 million? Edison? You see other teams struggling. Okay, Edison's not had his best season last season, but he still cost you 60 or 70 million if you want to take him from City. So, sorry, Liban, I'm not even going to put you in a timeout. You want to cry? Go somewhere else to cry. We didn't get 60, Faris. We got, I think, 45 to 50 million for Sané. 1 year left in his contract is good. Edison's the top 3 goalkeeper in the world. I don't think top 3. I don't think he's still on 60. I think it's a bit more because he had his contract renegotiated after the first season. I think it was a 7-year contract. Do you think we'll go for another striker? I don't think we will, Haj. I've not heard anything about that. Sterling, Edison, Kevin De Bruyne. That's it, guys. Just because he's a game changer doesn't mean they can't lose. KDB is a game changer and we lost. Oh, yeah, I agree, Edwin. I'm just saying. Everybody was shouting about these kids last week and everybody's been quiet this week. Darcy, well, it's all gone. Liban... Aki and Torres are great signings and some great baggers. I agree beyond Notre Gaming. I totally agree. Apparently, Leicester wanted Aki last summer after they sold Maguire, and Bournemouth quoted them 80 million. So Leicester went away between 60 and 80 million for Aki last summer. Now, there's no City coming along at 40 million. So be happy. Yeah, I think Faris, when Sane came, he was on 60 grand a week. I don't know if that went up a little bit or not. Mbappe moving next summer increases their chance to land Haaland. Just have to get past the issues with his agent. I agree, Mr. Rolo. I think our best transfer window is 2016, where we got Gundogan, Sane, Stones, and Jesus. Ooh, no. There was a season when we got Yaya Toure and David Silva, and Kolarov and can't remember, and Boateng. Kolarov, Boateng, Yaya, and David Silva. I think that was our best. Hard if we get we should be going for it again. Plus Chelsea didn't spend for a season, so could fall back on money from last season. But also it's Abramovich puts the money in. He's happy to put the money in, loan it to the club or put it as we're not doing it anymore. Not looking for Mbappe and Haaland? No. Mbappe, if Haaland's release clause is 80 million and Mbappe's 200, you can buy them both. But Haaland's agents cost you 20 million as well. That's where it starts getting expensive. So the transfer fee might be 80 million, the release clause, but the extra 20 million you get to Mina Raiola, you can't forget that. I agree, Mr. Roll-Up, totally agree with that. If Madrid get Mbappe, they won't be in for Haaland. Less competition for us to get him. Yeah, who would Haaland go to? Who's going? First of all, look at it now. Now things might change in a year's time. We might get a vaccine. Fans might start going back to grounds. Who knows? Where are the big transfers this summer? Tell me, anybody apart from Chelsea, where are the big transfers? Let me try and find. I'm trying to find the list. Top transfers. Okay. Let's have a look. And this is just the Premier League. I'm just going to start there. 20th is Decore. Well, there's a few people who have gone for about 20 million total. Decore, Callum Wilson, Alcantara, James Rodriguez, 20 million. Torres came to City for 21. Allen to Everton for 22. Edouard Mendy's just gone to Chelsea for 22. Castagne's gone to Leicester for 25. Rodrigo to Leeds for 26. Gabriel to Arsenal. But you know what I mean. Nelson Semedo to Wolves for 27. Ollie Watkins to Aston Villa for between 25 and 28. Fabio Silva to Wolves 35. These are not big deals. Ziyech, Chelsea 36. Donny van de Beek, United 40. Nathan Ake, City. Wow, it's a total of 41. Ben Chilwell, Chelsea 45. Jota to Liverpool 45. Timo Werner to Chelsea 48. Kai Havertz to Chelsea 71. Those are the biggest transfers in the Premier League, and 4 out of the top 5 are Chelsea. 3 out of the top 4, sorry, are Chelsea, and that's Havertz, Werner, and Chilwell. You take them all out. Top one is Liverpool at 45, and then Ake to City. And Chelsea have got another one in the top 10 in Ziyech. And they got Mendy in the top 20 as well. So they spent an absolute shed load. Okay, who else has spent money? I'm trying to see the European top 20 biggest transfers. Let's have a look if I can get a ranking here. Oh, I hate this. In France, I think they've got an issue. Either that, or I've said it before, where you might go on to you start on Google, and then if you don't do a second search, it throws you into Bing. I don't know why. I don't want the English ones. Okay, here's one from a few days ago. It's from 3 or 4 days ago. Summer transfers confirmed. That's the dates. So they're not shown. They're shown them by club. I'm just trying to find a list of the big transfers. But there's not going to be. I can't off the top of my head. This Osimhen, that was a big transfer, but that's 55 million euros, I think. Where else has been? There's nothing out there. Let's just see what the Guardian is saying about the big deals. This was last month. Not even going to bother. Why do you give your first result of something that's 2 months old? Anyway, let's not go. But if there are any big ones, you guys can tell me. Harge is asking how much you pay for Haaland. Well, if he has a good season, 100 million, you wouldn't complain. So the agent wants 80 million for the release clause, 100 million. I can't believe that we used to have Savic and Boateng on our books just to make it a City. It happens beyond Ultra Gaming. It happens. Even Nastasic was all right. Haaland's going to be world class. We need another Terraces Blue Chant. Haaland is worth over 100 million. Mr. Roll-Up, not going to release clause. He's 80 million plus. The money's going to go to his agent. The big clubs have actually been quite the shave. It's not mistaken. Madrid, Barca, United. Yeah, there you go. Who spent the money? Napoli spent 55 on Osimhen, and that's it. Absolutely beyond Ultra Gaming. Odd business there. I would pay 120 for Haaland, 20 to the agent, Harge, 130 in total. Chelsea had a chance for duty, so to save money. Yeah. But the money they save is coming from Roman, a lot of it's coming from Roman Abramovich. Also, they've got that new deal with, was it 3 sponsoring the shirts? So I think they're getting a bit more money there. Faris, I'm sure Mino Raiola got 20 million for 20 million from United. He got 20 million from United on the Pogba deal. He got money from Juventus on the Pogba deal. And I think he got money from Pogba. Someone said to me he might have got 40, 50 million quid in total. It sounds, or euros. It sounds crazy, but there you go. David, how you doing, mate? How did Chelsea get away with it? Because Abramovich still puts money into the club, and COVID does affect their finances. It affects everybody's finances. Chelsea gate receipts, I think, are similar to City's, might be a little bit more. So where City been affected, Chelsea affected exactly the same way, except we have a few more home games because we have a few more competitions and everything else. Obviously, we got fined 10 million euros for the FFP thing. But apart from that, theirs will be very similar to ours. You know, the gate receipts are similar. The refund, the rebate to the Premier League is going to be similar. The money they lose from the Chinese TV deal is very similar. So it's all similar. Okay? But the difference is, I mean, I think they've got if that 3 deal is this year, they've got a bit more money coming in from there. And once again, the money comes in from Abramovich as well. He pumps the money in and he puts it in as a loan. He's done as we out his blue chand. We'll see. Hug 7 members of the staff at full-time, including best responder Rui Costa. There's the people in the club giving captaincy tonight. It was very special for me. Blue chand, scouting. Hey. I'm going to put that on there. Out there, blue chand is my source. There you go. Sorry, guys, I have to put this out there. I'm going to put this. Yeah. But sorry, guys, I've gone a bit quiet. I will still put my Kunde story out tomorrow, guys. Kunde article, because I spent a lot of time chasing him, a lot of time getting someone to do it, and so I'm going to put that out tomorrow. Diaz is coming, says Blue Chand. Apparently, Chelsea got 140 from Real Madrid because of some clause in the contract. Well, obviously, they got a bit of money from selling players as well, Chelsea, didn't they? They got the Hazard money. It doesn't equate, because that's going down the route of net spend. But they got, obviously, the selling of Hazard, the saving of his wages. I mean, what wages was Hazard on? 300 grand a week? 15 million a year? They're saving that. And this, I think this got rid of 1 or 2 other players, and other players will go. There's talk of Hudson-Odoi going out on loan or something. So we'll see. Liverpool used to have Sterling, Lewis, Alberto, Mascherano, and Aspas. There you go. And Chelsea got Morata money. Yeah. So, I mean, Chelsea's probably sold 200 million quid's worth of talent. But what it affects mostly, don't look at it from the net spend point of view. It helps them with the cash flow, because they can, they might not get all the money in one go, but they can sell the debts on. They can sell, what clubs owe them. Like Real Madrid might have only paid half the money up front for Hazard, but then Chelsea could sell the remaining debt to a finance company. It seems to be a lot one in Australia that does a lot of that. I really hope that after Diaz we stop spending 40 million on centre backs. It's getting a bit ridiculous. It says you wouldn't get it. Jamaican Diaz captain looks like a tribute, says Blue Chand. Yeah, it looks all likely to happen. There's still a lot of you guys on. I didn't think we'd have this many guys on for this length of time tonight, guys. So it always makes me go and check. I always like checking the stats, what's going on, because we've been hammered the last 2 nights. We've got good numbers watching the streams, but we've been hammered by to find out some of those guys are quite naughty, and I think I know what they're trying to do. Just give me a sec, guys. Now, I can't prove it. I've got 16 likes. I've got 36 dislikes. That's why they do it, guys. And I can't prove. There's something I can't prove yet, but I'll look at it. Something I want to be able to prove, but I will check it out. There's something I need to do. But anyway, there's a lot of stuff for you to look at. Just going to check how many people have been watching. There's loads of people who have been on. Loads of people have been on. See, 139 people. So I would like a few more thumbs up, guys. I'd like a few more thumbs up, because the bad guys come, stay a few seconds, and disappear, and the good guys, got to give us some thumbs up, guys. So just letting you know that we've only got 20 likes, 36 dislikes. They're absolutely hammering us tonight, which is disappointing. Lad wants his flip-flops back. But yeah, that has an impact. Anyway, let's see what you guys are talking about. So Diaz it is. They went with my choice at the start. It's Faris. Mr. Roll-Up, Chelsea had to fight back just to salvage 2 points from West Brom. Guess all that money was spent. Oh, but Mr. Roll-Up, I know you're just messing about. But it was simply, it takes time to settle. It takes time to get into it. But you see that penalty, that handball from free kick to West Brom. Tossing's out the door, so now City should really focus until how address Joel and Sandler a chance of not spending. Yeah, I agree, wouldn't get it. We've now, I'm not sure about Joel, but Philippe Sandler, let's see if he's good enough. I'm not sure. If you remember when we got Philippe Sandler, I didn't think it was for him to play at City long term. I thought we got him on a good price. We were going to sell him. Yeah, Duffs. Look. There's a number that we work on. There's a number of. It's called 31, because we used to get that a lot. 31. It's a funny number. Not just because it's a prime number. It's a funny number to get 31 dislikes regularly or 16 dislikes regularly. It's very odd. So yeah, it's mostly them, and I believe for some things that have gone on in the background, I believe some of because I don't watch other channels, I believe there's been a comment, or there's been comments for their followers to behave and to respect us. That's what I was told was going to happen. Doesn't look like it's actually working. It's actually got worse. So you tell people, guys, behave, don't do that, and it gets worse. Gives you an idea what kind of guys those are. They're not Centurions. Look, they're a follower of a City fan who doesn't go to games. I'll throw this in because we were in 53 minutes, and I'll just throw it at the end. Yeah, Joe Latterboard, yeah, you wouldn't get it. I knew who you meant. I think he's gone, Auntie. You wouldn't get it. We're talking about Andy, he claims he's a City fan. We had to go at Stephen for not going to games, and Andy doesn't go to games. He might have gone to loads of games in the past, but he wasn't going to games. This last loads of years, he wasn't going to games. He wasn't. And he went to games, a lot of home games, on my tickets. When I wasn't around, when I'm away for work, he's going to home games on my tickets. He wasn't going to away games, guys. 3 away games in a season. One of them was a Wembley game. One of them was at Everton when I got him a ticket from somebody. Okay, he paid for the ticket, but I sourced the ticket, and he went to Lyon. I don't know why he went to Lyon. There must be some reason why you picked Lyon and games away at Burnley. Why can't you go to an away game at Burnley when tickets are plentiful? Anyway, do you think letting Justin today goes a mistake in hindsight, Mr. Roll-Up? I don't know. How good is he? Do you think he's good enough for City's team? I don't know. We play a different way to what Lyon play. It's always risky to send someone to play to 1 and transfer to beyond again. It's going to take time. It's going to take time for that to happen. Let's go through your last comments before I knock it on the head. Can someone fast track? I think Garcia will leave. Once we get somebody else in, I expect Ottoman and Garcia to go. It's always risky. Yeah, we've done that one. I think it's not Centurions. It's we know where most of them come from because it's very specific, the dislikes. The dislikes are very specific. The dislikes are usually very early. Here's some stats. Dislikes are usually very early in a stream. Very early. Okay? Which is straight away, it's unusual for the dislikes to be so early in a stream. And so many around, it used to be 16 or 31. Okay? It's odd numbers to have on a regular basis. And when you're getting 16 dislikes on a video, remember, that's all. There's all videos where you've got 16 dislikes in 4 or 5 minutes. It's somebody logging in, logging out, logging in, logging out, logging in, logging out. That's the way it goes. So yeah, we've got lots of data on it because it's easy. You see it happening. You can see it happening. So we're just used to it now. Just used to it. So, but there's a reason. It's always very quick, very early, or they pick on a video that hasn't got many likes. You see, when we're doing live streams and you're getting, 100 plus likes, there's no point getting involved there because giving it 30 dislikes or 15 or 16 dislikes doesn't have an impact on that video. Okay, it doesn't have an impact on that video, so they don't get involved. There's no need to. And it was always really curious. People who don't like the channel, but they never got involved when there was a game on. It's really weird. Why do you not get the dislikes when there's a game on? Is it because somebody in particular is busy and hasn't got time on their hands? Is it because of that? That's been suggested. Why didn't we get lots of dislikes whilst there's a game on? We're doing stuff. Because someone hasn't got a clever dick. Someone's using 2 hands to type. No free hands. Yeah, Blue Chand, I'll speak to him tomorrow. I'll send him a message and see if I can get him on either tomorrow, probably Monday, because we've got the Women's FA Cup quarter final tomorrow. So watching that. And then we've got the game against both against Leicester. Then we've got the Leicester game after that. So it's going to be a really, really busy day. If you want some info, I'll try football at BH, but the thing is, so much going on tomorrow, I'm going to rely on Scott. Right, guys. Nightbot's telling you, give us a thumbs up and subscribe if you like what we're doing. Thanks for your support. So there's a few new changes to Nightbot, a few little things. And let you know, guys, we will be inviting you to send your videos in. I'll give you more information about that probably next week after it's died down after this weekend's games. But we do want people to just give us content. Scott is giving us content. Man City, Portmore, no, I disagree with that. He's not a Liverpool fan. If he went to Liverpool, he'll get battered. But the point is, yeah, that's it. There is something else. I'm not going to go there, but you wouldn't get it. 40 for Mangala, 41 Raki, 47. We spend a lot of money on defenders. A lot of money. There's plenty. There's something that came up last week. And I'll say this for people like, I suspect, Faris, Blue Chand, and others who will understand it more. They'll understand it immediately. And the others might understand it. And I'm not going to explain it. But someone mentioned something about Karachi on a stream a few days ago. Someone who got banned. They mentioned something about Karachi, and you wonder why they mentioned something about Karachi. It's going to have to do with me. But there's a reason they mentioned Karachi. They use that as an attempt, is it a racist slur? As a trope to say, oh, this is where you're from? Is that what they're trying to do? So they didn't say it in a overtly bad way, but there's an insinuation there. There's something there about that. And I could really go to town on that. but that would become extremely personal on the other side, which part of me wants to do, but I'm reluctant to do it because I don't want to be dragged down to somebody else's level. I don't want to be dragged down to having a pop at somebody else's wife. No, beyond Notre Gaming, it was thrown out there as a racist comment. It was thrown out there. Why mention? It was thrown out there as to be racist. No, Edwin, I'm not going to spill it. I'm not going to spill it because I'm not going to go after someone's wife. As I said, you go there, you lower yourself to somebody else's level, and when someone else is in the gutter, it's better to leave them festering in the gutter and stay out of the gutter. Faris, it looks like Diaz is done, whether it's with us or another team. Well, it's got to be with us, guys. It's got to be with us. Right, guys, I'm off. It's been an hour. I want some sleep tonight. Feeling a lot better than I was an hour ago. That's it, Cobby. I won't. I'm not going to go there. I'm trying. Look, I've not gone there. I've not gone on the personal family attacks for over 15 months. I've not done it. And there's a reason I've not done it. You know, sometimes you've got to have some class. Anyway, guys, you look after yourselves. We'll catch you tomorrow. There's going to be loads going on. Against the Leicester women. That's going to take some of my time because I'm going to watch it. It's FA Cup quarter final. And obviously the men's game. So there's tons going on. If you want to get involved, but I don't think you know, Cobby, what I'm talking about, Cobby, but particularly about the family things. But I've stayed away from that because that would crush him. If I said stuff, that would absolutely crush him. But it would lower me to a level I don't want to go. You know, it's part of it. I want to do it. You know, I'm not sitting here as an angel. I've got a devil on one side and an angel on the other. But you know what's right and you know what's wrong. And you try and stay on the right side. But you guys look after yourselves. Catch you tomorrow and we will have a lot of fun. We keep it positive, guys. Give us a thumbs up. See you around, Blue.